Simple and Out is the best digital in-out board out there with great ways to update your status and keep yourself current on all of our apps, integrations, and our website, simpleandout.com. Simple and Out allows you to also schedule status updates that can occur automatically in the future. Now, why would you want to do this? Maybe you have things that you already know are going to happen and you can schedule them to occur so that you don't have to remember to update your status board when those times come. It's also a great way to advertise to the users who have permission to see them what's coming up on your schedule. So today we're going to look at these features within Simple and Out. But before we get too deep into it, one thing to make real clear is that scheduled statuses is one of the features in Simple and Out that we allow you to either completely disable or completely enable if you wish. By default, it'll be enabled, but there are definitely customers that might not ever want a feature like scheduled statuses. For example, if you're using Simple and Out for payroll purposes, you probably don't want your users scheduling they'll be in tomorrow because, of course, schedules are aspirational. Whereas you probably want them actually updating their status so you know the exact time that they arrived. So for that reason, if you're following my screen, I'll click Settings here in the upper right, and then I'll click on Company Settings. And if you're an administrator, you'll see in our feature switches here, a master switch for scheduled statuses. So if you turn this off, all the scheduled status features across the entire Simple and Out system, including all the apps and integrations, will be disabled. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's talk about scheduling statuses. So to do so, or the best way to see it, I'm going to click Schedule here in the upper right. Now, this brings you into an interface that looks like a calendar. That's intentional, of course, where you can see what other users have scheduled depending upon your permissions. Simple and Out has a robust permissioning system based on roles. Every user has a role, and that role dictates what the users can and cannot do. So by default, of course, if you have the ability to see other people's scheduled statuses, or if you have the ability to schedule statuses on other users' behalves, you'll be able to see that interface in here as well. If you don't have those permissions, then this will be restricted to just what you're allowed to see or what you're allowed to do. In my case, I have all the permissions in the world for the purposes of this demonstration. So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at a lot of those different things. So it's Sarah Smith here. Let's go ahead and schedule a status update to occur. So maybe we want to pick on, I'll just hit the plus button up here. And so, of course, right away, it'll give me a user here. Again, I could switch this to a different user because as Sarah Smith, I have permission to do so. And then we'll go ahead and we'll pick, maybe we're going to leave early on Friday. So we'll pick that and let's just say maybe at noon. That seems like a good time. And then down here, I can pick what status and what comment do I want to utilize to leave behind. In this case, I'm going to be out. Maybe I can make this even better and just be out on vacation maybe for a half day and leaving early. And then I'll hit schedule. So here we go. I now have a leaving early scheduled status. Anybody else can view this and see what's coming up. And then, of course, you'll see I'm now present here on the board on Friday. Now, for the purposes of viewing, I have a lot of different options here. We have month view, which is a very popular view, of course. We could go to week view, where we can just see what's going on for the week. We could even go to individual day views. So in this case, if I fly over to Friday, we'll see that happens down in the noon. Now, we also have a great list view. And the list view is a week view. So in this case, there's only one thing going on this week. But if I scan to the next week here, we can see on Tuesday, John and Ava are scheduled to be in. John Sampson will be out, looks like for an hour on Friday, etc. So this is a really great view. I'm going to flip back over to month view just because that makes me very comfortable. Now, let's go ahead and schedule another common scheduled status update, maybe a longer vacation. So when the time comes, in the case of the one I already scheduled here, Friday at noon, my status will automatically be updated to vacation with a comment of leaving early. And this will happen again without me having to remember to do it. But you do have some times, whether it's meetings or multi-day vacations, where you want to set a beginning and an end time. So let's go ahead and do one of those. Maybe next Monday, we have a meeting that we need to schedule. Now, of course, there's a cheat code here. I could double click on this date. That'll automatically put me in the add scheduled status, pre-populating that date. So let's say we have a meeting. Maybe this meeting's at 10 a.m. Now, this meeting maybe only lasts for 90 minutes. So let's go ahead and add an end time. By default, it'll just do an hour, but let's make this a 90-minute meeting. Now, one other thing I could do down here is that we have access to our quick picks. So this is great if you find yourself scheduling status updates for things that you do a lot frequently. In this case, I have one down here for Monday meeting. So I'm just going to click on this. And this will set a busy status with a comment of Monday meeting. And I don't have to do any typing. Let's go ahead and add that scheduled status. Okay, so as you can see, it's already been added down here. So what this will do now is automatically at 10 a.m. on Monday, my status will change to busy with a comment of Monday meeting. And then at 11:30 a.m., when that meeting ends, my status will automatically change again, this time reverting to whatever it was before the 10 a.m. meeting started. So if you check yourself in, for example, at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., you're going to be busy in this meeting. And at 11:30, you're going to be back to in, and everything will happen automatically. Now, if you happen to get, let's say, out of this meeting a little early and you update your status maybe to at lunch and you head to an early lunch, if you do that, Simple and Out will leave your status alone. So at 11:30, if you've already updated your status, we won't revert back. We will instead leave it because we have assumed you've left the better status behind. So that's super convenient and a great way to schedule ranges, whether or not you're talking about meetings, multi-day vacations. Again, these are all very popular use cases for this. Let's go ahead and add a multi-day vacation, and let's add it for another user. Again, I have permission to do so. So in this case, let's pick on, let's see, we'll pick on somebody here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit plus, and let's pick on maybe Kevin. And so let's say Kevin is going to be out the last week in June for vacation. So let's go ahead and start that on the 22nd at 8 a.m. And we'll add an end time here, except this end time is going to be all week, and then maybe 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And we will just vacation here, use another quick pick, schedule. And so there you can see that we go ahead and we have Kevin Johnson on vacation. And if I click on Kevin Johnson here, I can see Kevin's entire schedule. Right now, this is Kevin Johnson's schedule for the 22nd. I'm sorry. So here I have that vacation thing. I can delete it here if I need to. And I have this little icon here where I can click and I can view the user's entire schedule. So here I can see that Kevin's on vacation from the 22nd to the 26th. And he's also out on July 1st at 1:15 p.m. So there's one last thing I want to discuss before we call this video good, and that is calendar integration. So obviously our interface here looks like a calendar, and that's wonderful. But of course, we do have a first-party calendar integration with Simple and Out. Now that's beyond this video. We have a completely separate video dealing with calendar integrations. But by doing that other calendar integration, we can look ahead at your existing calendar and pre-populate those scheduled statuses in here and do so hourly. It's really great, and I encourage you to take a look at that video if you already have a calendar solution in place that you're using every single day. So that's scheduled statuses in Simple and Out. It's a great way to keep your board up to date on events you know are coming. And likewise, it's a great way to visualize what your users have upcoming for your entire organization.